Hey, I'm John Greaves, the third of the Finding Garage Gym Life, and I am super excited. I even put on my good cologne for this today because I'm going to be talking to Jonathan from NoFate247 YouTube channel. If you guys are not subscribed to his channel, subscribe to mine, then go subscribe to his because it is an excellent and very entertaining channel. We're going to find out all about Jonathan and his channel, including asking him the questions that you guys submitted to me a few days ago. But first, let's check out the shirt of the day. In honor of my conversation with Jonathan, the shirt of the day is the best gym in town shirt. Whether you own a garage gym like I do or a basement gym like Jonathan does. Actually, he owns a basement and a garage gym. Talk about double dipping. Anyway, regardless of where in your house your home gym is, it's the best gym in town because you've spent the time to custom tailor it to you. So let's celebrate that with this awesome shirt. It's comfortable to wear out and it's awesome to work out in, even when you start to sweat on those dog days of summer in your garage. So go ahead, hit that link that's down here underneath this video and grab this fresh home gym merch or any other shirt that you like to get from our store and support your favorite YouTube channel while you're at it. Let's get back to the video. Jonathan, thanks for joining me.
Hey, glad to be here. No Fate channel. Checking in. Jonathan here, and I am excited. Let's just dive right in. Head first into the shallow end, as I like to say.
One of the things that I really like about what you do is the interaction that you have with the viewers. They'll answer questions back and forth. And so we're going to dive right into viewer questions. I did a post saying people was going to talk to you. And so here are my questions. So the first question is from Josh at Texas Garage Strength. He said, Jonathan is blessed with both a basement gym and a garage gym. If he could only have one, which would it be and why?
Easy. Basement gym. And here's why. First and foremost, my garage right now is going to be about 95 degrees by this afternoon, and it's going to be a sauna. But when you have a basement gym, you can regulate the temperature, the air quality, the lighting. Space-wise, it's almost the same as a garage. Some garages are bigger, but then you got to park a car. The only issue with basements, at least from my perspective, is usually the height, the ceiling height. And even with some garage gyms, they've got height issues because when they roll their doors up, then they get a clip that they have a height issue there. So for me, all day it is basement. That is the number one way to go. And the reason why people love garage gyms is because I'm up here in New England. In New England, we have basements. Most of the country doesn't even have basements. Like no one in Florida has a basement, so they have to have a garage gym. So that's why they'll tell you that garage gyms are better. But the reality is it's basement gyms.
I probably would take a basement gym as well. But the thing I don't like about basement gyms is getting equipment in. You could break stuff down, but let's say something like a power rack, your posts are still the length that they are. Right. And so every basement that I've ever been in has this little weird dog leg that they put in for some reason. And trying to get around that angle is murderous. I interviewed Paul Carter from Carter Home Gym, and he was talking about how he got, I think it was his glute ham raise. It was a nightmarish event getting his glute ham raise downstairs by himself.
Yeah.
So I'm not about that life.
Everything in my basement was brought in by myself. Army of one, and it was not pretty. I mean, I had to take the door off on a couple of things, but yeah, it's arduous. And then you get all the pieces spread out, and you're trying to like not hit the poles in the basement, so you're trying to like rotate. It's a nightmare. But once it's in, you better love it because it doesn't want to get out very easily.
Well, and that's the thing though. So as a content creator, the thing is that we're reviewing multiple things, right? So you're constantly having stuff come in, and then you got to get rid of that stuff somehow, or else it's just going to clutter up your gym. You won't be able to do reviews on more equipment. So imagine if you've reviewed 2 power racks that year. That's 4 times actually, that you have to go through that process of getting stuff in and out of your basement. So that's why I'm like garage gyms for the win. But you are correct as far as the temperature control thing. There are some humidity issues sometimes. You have to have like an air purifier.
Yeah. So in my basement, I have a fan. I've got a dehumidifier because if you don't want the moisture, and I've got an air purifier, and I've also have like central air conditioning. So I'm able to regulate that throughout the year. Now, if you're in a garage, you can't regulate the moisture. You can't regulate any of that because you're just basically open-ended. Now, for those of your fans that have seen like these fantastic garage gyms like Coop and Gluck, those aren't garages. Those are literally like freestanding structures that they built and then populated with insulation and heating and ductwork. Those aren't
100%.
garages. They're not parking a car in there. So that's by definition not a garage gym.
Yeah, and even still, you see some of the, so obviously I have a garage gym, which is hence the name Garage Gym Life. But I think, I've had a shed gym. I've had a spare building gym. I've had a gym in a spare bedroom. and heck, I've worked out on a back porch. But the thing for me with the garage is I only have to block the bugs from one direction, as opposed to them coming at me every direction. I just saw my garage door screen. I've got a fan that, but that helps out a little bit. But I have to turn the fan off because it's too loud. If I'm filming something in there, I got to turn the fan off. I have to worry about heat, as you said. So there are something. I think it's kind of like what's valuable to you as far as that. I mentioned Paul Carter. Let's jump into a question from Paul. The Carter Home Gym. What's up, guys? I have a question. How many hours per week / month on average does Jonathan spend making content, and what are his biggest challenges managing his channel? So he kind of snuck 2 questions in right there.
Yeah, no, that's good. It's good. I like that. I like sneaking in those extra questions. So it's actually a great question, because most people, when they see a 10-minute video of you on YouTube, they think that took 10 minutes to film. You hit the record on the back end.
Oh yeah,
upload it.
Absolutely.
Bob's your uncle. And unfortunately, that's far from the case. So I actually did, at the beginning of the year, I took 3 weeks and I actually put down all of my time, clock in, clock out. And my average was between 23 hours and 27 hours over the course of those 3 weeks. So you're probably looking right around 25 hours a week, and that is spread out throughout all 7 days. Most of it is nights and weekends, but it is ongoing. And it is like, even in between sets when I'm working out, I'm trying to get B-roll of workouts or equipment that I'm using and reviewing. It is a brutal task, and I do enjoy it. But if people had an inkling of the amount of time and energy it took, they would not ever start YouTube. As far as the biggest issue that I have, it's time. If I had more time, I would make more videos. If I had more time, my videos would actually be better in terms of like the editing, because the editing takes forever. For anyone who's never edited before, it's arduous. Every time you see like a sound effect or a blip or a logo come across the screen, that's something that has to be manually put in, updated, and aligned correctly. And it all just takes time.
And don't worry. Okay, if you're watching this, we are aware that you don't care. Okay, that you don't care about how long it takes us to shoot the video. You just care about whether it's good. And I can't even say that really bothers me, because if I put it in perspective, let's use something that's completely neutral, right? So I hate the movie Thor: Love and Thunder with a passion, but people spent 6 months to a year working hard for hours on end, filming that movie in different locations and adverse conditions. And all I care about is I didn't like this or that thing in the movie, right? So I get it from the consumer standpoint. But at the same time, the reason that matters to me is because I don't like it when I don't really say I take it personally, even though I kind of do, I guess. When people look at this and they figure, okay, well, I can do it. It must be easy. I could do it too, right?
Oh, I tell people to do it. I said,
I'm like, go for it. I'm like, well, go ahead. No, I don't mind if you do it. What I'm saying is, when people don't respect the amount of time you put in and how difficult it is, that's what I'm getting at. It's like, look, man, this takes time, and and sometimes it's actually from people that you interview. So like, you do the interview and they expect you to have it out that afternoon. They're like, whoa, slow down, man. I could, but it wouldn't work out for
ugly. No one would want to watch it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like, look, there's a lot more that goes into it. So speaking of that, what's your ultimate goal for the NoFate channel?
Been the same since day one. Just make better content. Ideally, I want every video to be a little bit better than the one before, whether it's like quality of the audio, the video, just the interaction, or just overall, I just want it to be better. And the ultimate goal is to continue to grow the channel. I really enjoy it. I think I'm pretty good at what I do. Although if you want to see how far I've come, go to my earlier videos, and that'll give you an eye-opening of just how fantastic my channel is now compared to where it was. And I see other people doing content, and I'll be honest with you, a lot of the content is great. And then some of the content, I'm just like, that's horrible. What were they thinking? Just from like, again, from the consumer perspective. And I'm like, well, if they're doing it and they're getting all these great views, I know I can do it better, and I'm going to prove it. So it's just about, just trying to grow the channel and just ultimately just be better. I want someone who watches the channel tomorrow to be like, that video was better than last week's video.
Have you had to adjust the kind of content you shoot versus what you thought you'd be shooting when you started?
Yeah, absolutely. So, when the channel itself, for those of you who have never subscribed to my channel and hit the subscribe button,
do it.
It is basically about my life. Basically everything that circles my life, and it's home gym, it's supplements, it's fitness, it's health, and of course I'm a dad of 2, so it's going to be a lot of dad life stuff. And when I first started off, it was more dad life stuff because I was a new dad. So I was just covering, you know, stuff like that. And as it's progressed, my kids are taking kind of a back seat. They're getting older. Thankfully, they're sleeping through the night. And so a lot of the content is just stuff that I am interested in. So if you go to my channel, you'll see it does vary over the course of a month or two. But I enjoy that. And I think it keeps things fresh because most of my viewers, they don't want to watch 1,000 videos on adjustable benches. Okay. They want to watch 1 or 2 and let's mix it up. Let's do something like, you know, talking about Ridge Wallet as an example, something that's in the news maybe, but just trying to keep things fun and interesting, but again, keep the quality high.
I love the weekly kind of update things you do where like you're talking about multiple topics. It's almost like Kelly and Mark and Kelly, I guess it is now because Kelly, she's doing it with her husband. Yeah, you know what I mean? I was about to say Regis and Kathy Lee.
Yeah,
that's how old I am.
That's how old I am too, yeah.
But it's Kelly and Mark. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, we're talking about, hey, this popped across my feed. I saw this. It's not enough for me to do a full video on it, but I think it's interesting enough to, you know, start a conversation. One other thing to go with what surprised you about like how you had to adjust your content. What surprised you the most about just being a content creator in general?
How hard it was, to be honest with you. And like most people, before I made a video, I was a big fan of YouTube. I'd watch it and be like, I can do that. Just put the camera on and go. And the first videos took me forever to make. I was just, you put the camera on and you're stumbling, and like, it was a nightmare. And like one video would take like 4 hours worth of shooting. The camera would run out of power. And it was just, it takes time, it takes reps, and it takes just relaxation in terms of the content that you're creating and just being familiar with what you want to do.
What's your least favorite kind of video topic to watch or shoot?
Least favorite video topic really is just when people bring out like a 500 bars and they want to like whittle it down to like the favorite bar or adjustable bench. And it's like, they've got 500 adjustable benches. And next thing you know, it's a 20-minute video. It's like, nobody's got time for that. Let's narrow down the video concept. Be like, what's the best adjustable bench on a budget under $200? Pick 3, talk about them, get in and out, 8 minutes, 10 minutes tops. And people are making long videos for the sake of ad revenue. They're making a 20-minute video when it could be 10 minutes, or they're making a 16-minute video to get 2 ads rolled in there instead of just making it a 7.5-minute video. And if you look at my content, I've purposely, against revenue stream, have actually reduced the time of my videos, and I've actually made it a lot more shorts. Like you said, certain topics don't need a full video on it, and I think that's just better for overall for the viewer. And I hate when I see people that I'm like, yeah, you made that video long just to get that ad revenue.
See, I think that it comes back to being sensitive to your audience. And I always say, like, if I was watching this on TV, would I have changed the channel by now?
Yes.
And that's like, to me, the criteria. My most recent favorite video of yours is the ice bath video. How long did it take for you to shoot that?
Honestly, that was a real fun one. When you're tackling a topic that you enjoy, it ends up being a lot easier. Even
I don't know if enjoy is the right word.
No, I enjoy.
If y'all haven't seen the video, I'm gonna link it right there.
Yeah, the one that was the one that was
smashing through the ice.
I will tell you. Okay, so for those of you who didn't watch it, it was the middle of winter, sub-zero temperatures. I got in my completely frozen ice bath to see how long I could stand in it and do a video. The video itself did not actually take too long overall, considering my other videos, because it was like a one-shot camera. I had 2 cameras set up, but I was in freezing water, 32.5 degrees Fahrenheit. So I couldn't stay in very long. I was turning blue. So I was like talking quick, trying to just get it all out. But that was a really fun video. And now in the summertime, I mean, I'm longing for that free ice. That it was just so much easier to just break the ice up and jump in. Now I got to dump in like 40 pounds worth of ice just to kind of lower that temperature like a few degrees. It's so hot out.
You keep using words related to this video when you refer to this video like fun and easy. And to quote Inigo Montoya, I don't think that's what those words mean. Fun and easy, it's sub-zero, okay? The cameras should have frozen. Let's just say like it was cold enough, the camera should have frozen. And I look, you like, yeah, you sent me the video, I'm looking at this thing, and I'm like, this lunatic doesn't have any clothes on. Really? All right, that little thing you had on doesn't count.
Yeah.
And he's breaking the ice and stops and says, oh yeah, by the way, it's very important to break the ice so you don't cut yourself. I said, no, it's important to go back inside the house. Right?
No, what people who love their ice bath like me, it is next level. If you want mood elevation like no other, get yourself an ice bath. And in the summertime, you can actually just do an ice shower. For a lot of people, that works pretty well too. So
I mean, I don't want to ruin it. Like I could literally talk about your ice bath thing experience for a long time, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to ruin it. I want people to watch it. I'm literally, it's popping up over my head right now. Go and watch the ice bath video. It's hilarious to me. And then ask him all the questions in the comments. So like one of the questions, I'm going to go, when this is done, I'm going to go in that video and I'm going to post one of the questions that I would have asked you here, but I don't want us to take any more time. So yeah, so y'all got to go watch that video to see what I was going to ask him. See that? I'm a professional. All right. Anyway, you did a great collab with Gluck's Gym. What did you learn about that from that interview that helped you as a creator?
I really enjoyed interviewing Gluck. I mean, I put a lot of time in the front end because I'd seen some of his other videos and he falls asleep during the video. So, I mean, he literally is just like, can't be bothered. So I was like, okay, how do I get his attention? What are the questions that haven't been asked? And that's another thing. I want to ask questions that haven't been asked, that he hasn't tackled, and just kind of peel back the onion, because people want to know, you know, that he quit his job, why he quit his job, why he quit his job, but more content hasn't come out yet. He's still putting the same number of videos out, because in my mind, if I quit my job, I'm going to double my videos, right? Even though that might not be the right answer. So yeah, it helped me figure out what are the questions I should be asking that no one else is. And that's what I try to do, even on my other videos, being like, okay, this is an adjustable bench. I hate to go back to this, but what do people want to know that no one else is asking? Like, what's the concern that no one else realizes is a major issue, and stuff like that. So it was good. It's always good talking to Gluck and other creators, because it's just good to, one, to bounce ideas off of them, two, to pick their brain and see, you know, why they're doing what they're doing. Like, as an example, I know Gluck is taking most of the summer off. He's only releasing like one video every other week because the views for the summertime are historically just super low on YouTube. So why put the energy in there? And he's building up, like you said, a runway. So come the fall, when ad revenue's higher, he can unleash all these videos. But it's just interesting talking to other creators. And sometimes it's just nice to be like, okay, you've got the same issue I have. It's not just me.
One of the things that I heard you say, and I was so glad you said it, is Rogue Fitness sells equipment that you can use at home, but they're not a home gym company.
No, they're not a Rogue Fitness.
PRX Performance.
I love Rogue Fitness. Rogue Fitness is great, but they don't care one lick about the home gym community, because it's not their marketing strategy. They could market that, but they don't care about it. They care about selling to CrossFit gyms, which has always been their bread and butter, commercial gyms, and to extremely rich people. The reality is, it's a lot easier to sell 5 benches to one gym than it is to sell one bench, trying to talk you into buying $1,000 Manta Ray bench that is going to be well above and beyond what you ever would need in a home gym.
Right.
So it's unfortunately a lot of people who wave the flag saying that Rogue Fitness is the end all be all because they mostly make American made equipment, which is great, is unfortunately it's just they just don't care about the home gym community. There's a lot of great small American companies that do, and that they support the home gym community, and that they go to Home Gym Con, they go to the Arnold, they do a bunch of stuff like that. But overall, it's just if you talk to their marketing team over at Rogue, I almost guarantee you they would say we don't care about the home gym community because we can't sell them enough equipment to make it worth our while.
If you go back historic, so I've had a home gym since before Rogue existed. And I remember when most of the stuff that was out there was, so you had Iron Mind, you had New York Barbell, obviously, Dynabody Fitness, but most of the companies were making stuff for commercial gyms or for schools. And then what you felt like you scored if you got something that, used to be in a school, the school's upgrading, and you were able to go and get like a rack or a bench or something like that from a high school weight room or college, definitely a college weight room. You felt like you hit the jackpot. Then Rogue came along and they started making stuff for CrossFit. And a lot of CrossFitters were in a garage because of that article that Greg Glassman wrote about the garage gym. Well, now you've got choices and you've got commercial quality home gym products. And so I think that some of it is a status thing, because you got so many people who buy home gym equipment but don't actually ever really use it.
Yeah, a lot.
If you feel attacked, sorry. Yeah. So there are people who look at it as like a status symbol. I want to say I have this thing, right? But I think to your point that Rep, PRX Performance, Fringe Sport, I just bought some for Fringe Sport the other day. Those are companies that are focused on the home gym community. And if you want to prioritize American made, there are easy ways to do that without having to, I'm not telling you not to buy Rogue stuff. I got Rogue stuff too. I'm just saying, don't drink Kool-Aid and just
Yeah,
believe.
don't drink. I mean, just look at power bars, right? So Ohio power bar is supposed to be the end all be all, but there's a lot of American power bars, and by no means am I a power bar expert or a power lifter. As you can see from my thin waist, I am not a power lifter.
Oh, shots fired!
But there's a lot of great American companies that aren't named Rogue. Now, people who don't know, Rogue Fitness started off as a website that took equipment from other websites and hosted it on their website. So if you were a CrossFit gym, you could go to Rogue and figure out where to buy all this other equipment. They only, eventually started making their own stuff. And listen, I love Rogue. It's fantastic stuff. But again, if you're a home gym goer and you're buying Rogue because you think they care about you, they don't. They don't care about you at all.
All right, let's finish up with one more viewer question from Joe Cohen. Since you mentioned that little bitty waist of yours, said, does he ever plan on committing to doing a proper bulk to gain more lean muscle mass and pure strength? He says you have the capability to be much bigger and stronger if you want to do it, because you're like 6'1", 210 at like 15% body fat. Or he said if you were 6'1", 210 at 15% body fat, you'd be a beast.
First off, weight is an illusion, okay? People say that if you just gain weight, you're going to look bigger. As an example, remember Brad Pitt in Fight Club? He was, at the time that came out, he was like supposed to be this big 168 pounds soaking wet. If you ever watched American History X, that actor, Ed Norton, he looks massive. He was only like 185 pounds. So gaining weight doesn't make you big. Unfortunately, at my age, I know that when I gain weight, it goes right here, this midsection. Okay. So a lot of people will bulk because they think they're going to gain weight, and they tell their friends, just wait until I cut. Just wait until I cut the carbs down. And this is all going to turn into muscle. That's an excuse. Okay. You can't flex fat. The reason I don't try to bulk anymore is because when I go over a certain weight, once I go over 190, it's all around my waist. You get someone like Matt does fitness, they put on weight, it goes to their legs and their arms. God bless them. But for me, it's my waist. And I would rather look lean and fit and as big as I can at this weight that my body wants to hold than try to force it. Now, as far as being strong, I'm stronger than most people. Okay. Again, when you compare me to some power lifter that's sumo deadlifting,
let's hear some numbers. Let's hear some numbers.
No, listen, my numbers are not impressive whatsoever, but I'm not a person who's chasing numbers.
I'm going to ask you, like, so when I say let's hear some numbers, I'm going to talk about like in relationship to stuff you can do. All right. How many bags of groceries can you carry in at once, assuming they're completely full?
All of them.
All of them. All right.
If I have to squeeze in between my bum. All
right. How many people need to come help you if you're moving a couch?
None. I just throw it on my back. I can lift a couch on my own.
What about a refrigerator?
Refrigerator, I'm smart. I'll get a dolly. See, sometimes you got to lift smarter, not harder.
Okay, let's talk about plyometrics. Assuming your kid is playing outside in the yard and you need to jump down there because you see them fall and get hurt. How many steps could you jump down without injuring yourself that you won't feel it in the moment? But how many steps can you jump down without hurting yourself later? 5 at a time. I've done Tough Mudders. I've done Spartan Beasts. I can do 5 at a time. I can hurdle walls. I can climb ropes. How high are these walls?
8 feet, 9. They're over my head. I got to like literally do a running jump and then throw my legs over. Yeah.
So let's say you're on the floor with one of your kids. How many points of contact do you need to get back up?
Oh, I could do a Romanian deadlift with my daughter. My son's like 70 pounds, so I could. No.
You're laying flat on the ground, okay, and then you want to go from flat on the ground to standing up. How many points of contact do you need to be able to stand? So do you have to like go to one knee, pause, plan it out, put a hand down, grab something?
2. I'd go to one knee, and then I would just drive up.
Okay.
So
all right. That's what I'm talking about. Real world strength. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm strong enough. Okay. I'm strong enough to protect my family. A lot of people, they love to chase numbers. Okay. And I hate to break it to them. I hate to break the secret, but no one cares that they can bench 2.5 pounds more than they could the last time. It's not impressive. They're not going to pick up any girls. They're not going to get any extra viewers. There's always someone that's going to be able to bench, squat, and deadlift more than them on any given day. It's just, I mean, you want to get views, get yourself into an American Speedo and deadlift. Okay. That's going to get you more views than putting an extra 2 or 3 plates on each side.
Okay. I won't be doing that. However, I will say that to your point, most people, if they see you and you are lean, they're going to assume you're strong.
Yeah, exactly.
But, if you're walking around carrying a fridge on your shoulder and you're fat, nobody's going to care.
No one's going
Okay.
to care. So as an
Nobody's gonna
example,
care.
you guys all saw Captain America, the first Avenger. All right. He comes out and he's in this t-shirt and he's just looking massive. That t-shirt is a small. Okay. They
Oh
actually
yeah.
give him a super small t-shirt. And because he's lean around the waist, you can't tell that he just looks big. This is a medium. Okay. If I wore a large, I wouldn't look nearly as big. But so for all of you, get a small waist and then just buy better fitting clothes. Not necessarily tight, but better fitting clothes. You're going to look pounds heavier in all the right places.
All right. I know that people want to see more of what you do, and I keep on telling them to go subscribe to you, go check out your channel. So go ahead, tell everybody how they can find your stuff, how they can connect with you, and everything they need to know in order to be able to find out more about you.
Everything is at NoFate247. The website, the YouTube, the Instagram, the Facebook, the Twitter, the TikTok, the Tinder, all that good stuff. Just at NoFate247, hit the subscribe button, and it's going to be fun and interesting, and it's going to be a ride.